Sports Plus Online, February edition. Happy New Year, Woody.
Really?
Well, how far can you go on in 2014 and wish people a Happy New Year?
I reckon February's a bit too far.
You
January,
reckon?
I'm happy with.
End of January's cut-off date.
Yeah, I reckon so.
Well, listen, last month we did it, didn't we? Happy New Year.
We did.
But we're well into 2014
Yeah.
now. Welcome. Remember, grab a Bible. Woody, as we're grabbing our Bibles, I want you to give us an idea of the best moment of fair play you've ever witnessed.
Okay, let me take you back. Tour de France 2 years ago. Bradley Wiggins leading the race. I remember one of the spectators had thrown pins across the track so some of the riders suffered from punctures. Wow. When Bradley Wiggins, who didn't get affected, heard about it, he actually slowed the whole race down so that all those that were affected could actually catch up with him. One of those who were affected was Cadel Evans, who was second in the race and Wiggins' nearest rival. Yeah. So Wiggins just slowed the whole race down just because he thought it was unfair.
Fair play.
Really fair play.
Well, it is. It's fair play of fair play. No, good. Well, hey, Woody, here's what we're looking at today. Remember, it's God's Monumental News. That's the series title. But God's Monumental News today is fair news. It's really fair. This is brilliant news, and it's fair. Let's go to Romans chapter 3, and we're going at verses 22 to 24. Can you read for us, Woody?
Certainly,
please?
mate.
Thanks, mate.
This righteousness from God comes through faith in Jesus Christ to all who believe. There is no difference, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God, and are justified freely by his grace through the redemption that came by Christ Jesus.
Cheers, Woody. You see, this monumental news this month is all about fair news. Here's the big question. How can a God who is completely righteous, completely holy, who hates sin, how can that God welcome me into his presence with arms open wide? These few verses in Romans chapter 3 explain exactly that. Is God fair? Can that happen? Well, you see there in verse 23, Woody read it, for all have sinned and fall short of the glory of God. Cast your mind back to last month. Remember what we looked at? There is no one righteous, no one who understands. It's exactly the same here. For all have sinned. This is talking about my position, your position before God, and fall short of the glory of God. And look at the beginning of verse 24. You see this word here, a continuation word, and are justified freely by his grace through the redemption that came by Christ Jesus. Let's look at one or two of these words because they're tricky. There's some tough words in here. They're justified freely. See this word justified? It simply means declaration has happened. A verdict has taken place. So imagine if we're in the court of law. Woody, okay. You're in the dock.
Yeah.
I'm the judge.
Yeah.
So the judge would use his gavel a little bit. Nice. So if there's chatting going on.
Come on.
Order! And the verdict is ready to take place. I pronounce Tom Woodbridge in light of the crime. The verdict is not guilty.
Yeah.
Slam. He slams the gavel down. That is it. It's a declaration. Paul is saying here, a declaration has happened. You've been justified. You are now not guilty. How? Through his grace simply means a wonderful gift I don't deserve, and through the redemption that came by Jesus Christ. I've been redeemed. That word redeem, redemption, bought back at great cost. A price has been paid, and that is the death of Jesus Christ. They're incredible words, and it's all because of the death of Jesus. Woody, read verses 25 and 26 to help us understand exactly how then this is fair in God's eyes.
Cool. God presented him as a sacrifice of atonement through faith in his blood. He did this to demonstrate his justice, because in his forbearance he had left the sins committed beforehand unpunished. He did it to demonstrate his justice at the present time, so as to be just, and the one who justifies those who have faith in Jesus.
Thanks, Woody. It's simply, there's some tough words there, right? If you have time, read those verses again and again, because they're gold dust, really helpful. But here's this simple understanding. Jesus is my sacrifice of atonement. Sacrifices were made throughout the Old Testament where an animal was slain and the blood of the animal would be presented before God, and God would then be able to dwell with his people. Very short term. And here, Jesus has died once and for all. He's a sacrifice in light of others, in the place of others. And so here's how God can be completely fair. God sees me and the wrong that I've done and the wrong standing that I'm taking place before him. He sees that, and yet he's able to declare not guilty because he sees Jesus first. Jesus stands in my place, and God punishes Jesus for my sin. And that's why he's able to welcome me with arms open wide, because my sin is actually still dealt with, and it's dealt with on the shoulders of Jesus instead of me. This is monumental news, and it's completely fair. God, who is holy, has dealt with my sin on the shoulders of Jesus, and he can still welcome me in. It's glorious, Woody. So this is the application for the world of sport. I think it's just a case of remembering. Will you remember that? There are many times in sport where justice is not done, where you've been wronged unrightly. That's part and parcel of sport. Will you remember the wonderful justification that has happened because of Jesus? You've been declared not guilty by the King of Kings. Now go and play your sport in light of that today. Woody Resources, what do we got?
Well, let me remind you once again to get on the website and get hold of Pray, Play, Say the Youth Way Part 3 from the website, from the app, or you can buy one at the shop. Also, why don't you have a look at Pray, Play, Say the Youth Way Part 1 and 2, other resources to help you represent Christ in the world of sport. As well as that, on the website, there's loads of talks from Sports Plus years gone by. So loads of talks you can listen to there.
Great, like it. Talking about Sports Plus. Come on, sign up. Sports Plus 2014. There are still places left. You can do that online. And remember, bring a friend. Is that it?
Last thing, I think.
What we got?
Bit of challenge, Woody?
Fancy it this month?
Hey, I'm confident.
Come on then, let's go.
Let's go. Lanky, where are we, mate?
Right, Woody, here we go. Challenge Woody, Blast from the Past, Sports Plus 2014. Aunt Sally, you either love it or you hate it. Arms wide open. You've got one chance. Knock her over, Woody. Come on. That is so far away, it's unbelievable.
How close, mate?
See you next month.